16,000 people experience homelessness annually. Every year, an estimated 3,800 single men and women endure long-term homelessness.
The Housing First Initiative is a wonderful program because it allows individuals to get into stable housing that has that safety net underneath them. We're keeping individuals out of jails, out of hospitals, and helping to lessen the burden of what it costs to meet those demands for those types of services.
Housing First becomes the appropriate housing option for people who have been long-term residents of the shelter system, people who really need a permanent housing with supportive services in order to be successful.
Once a person is in a safe and secure environment, they can begin to deal with whatever the factors were that brought them to the point where they didn't have a place to live.
Number one call in my office were from many young men who live in this community who needed a place to live.
The three goals of supportive housing are achieving stability for residents, helping transition residents to greater independence, and effectively utilizing the scarce dollars available.
Right at West 79th and Madison, we have some amazing things going on. Emerald Commons development will now become the anchor for the renaissance of that community.
5 months. Been here since it opened. Yeah, it's a nice place to stay. You can't complain. There's no too many places in Cleveland that you're gonna find affordable housing. They have all type of programs here. They have learning programs, physical, mental. They got supervisors on 7 days a week. If you need counseling, they got counseling here. That's good. There's always something to do to occupy your mind, you know, keep you from having bad thoughts.
We had over 350 applications for the 52 apartments here at Emerald Commons. And we currently have over 200 applicants on the waiting list, and we continue to get applications on a weekly basis.
This room is accessible to all the tenants through the day. People play games and just, socialize with one another. And that's sort of, I guess, where we hope to establish community, where people begin to see this as sort of a common area where they can meet their neighbors and support one another.
Being off the streets, I mean, that takes the pressure off immensely, and getting a chance like this to regroup, it doesn't happen very often. I'm grateful.
We have 10 veterans here, and all of those veterans were chronically homeless. And most of them are dealing with serious mental illness. And we've seen major improvement in people that I had some hope for, but they have far exceeded my expectations.
Front desk is staffed 24/7. That is because no one has a key to the front door. They must be buzzed in. We do have an intercom system. We have 16 cameras throughout the building, making sure people are safe in the building, in the community.
Here at Emerald Commons, or any of Eden's properties, a good tenant is a person who pays their rent on time, who respects the property and the neighborhood that they live in, and really is a good neighbor.
What strikes me most about Housing First and the excitement about it is that there's been a very real acknowledgement of the importance of having support services available and the capacity for the tenant to access those services when they feel they need to.
The services on site make a huge difference. In the old model where we had scattered sites all over the city of Cleveland, to get services they had to either call us, we had to go out and outreach them, they had to come to our office. It was not easy. Now that they're in a place where supportive services are on site, if we start to notice an irregular behavior, we can address it quickly. If they start to feel depressed, they can come to us just by walking down the steps.
I don't know what I would do without my case manager, Mandy, because she helps me when I'm down with my problems.
The most important psychotropic medication and form of recovery is peer support. There's nothing better than a person bonding with another individual who has similar needs and wants and goals than I have. In our world, we call them friends. In the state world, they call them peers. And I think that the Housing First environment affords a wonderful opportunity in its congregate setting to develop even more peer support. Peer support is priceless in everyone's life.
Very important early on, Sisters of Charity Foundation and the Housing First initiative first had to educate people locally that the model does work.
The costs that have been documented show that, from a taxpayer's viewpoint, it's actually a cost savings on the public systems.
Luckily, one day, representatives from MHS, Mental Health Services, came out there and they approached me and talked to me a little bit and asked me would I be interested in getting off the street, which was a no-brainer, and now that I've got my own place, now when I work or whatever I do, I can go home.
What I like most about the Housing First program is just good public policy.
Hi, come on in. I came from a shelter and I was there for approximately 4.5 months. I keep sending my resumes out. I had an interview yesterday with a law firm for immigration. I really want a job.
Then let's get talking about job skills.
It gives me joy, peace, a sense of independence. I feel like I'm more of a part of community, society. So now I pay taxes, and now I understand that when people look at their checks and they gripe about taxes, now I understand why. I came here and I was frightened. I didn't know anybody. I still come down and pull one of the staff aside and say, hey, I need to talk. And you could just talk to them.
The direction we're going towards with Housing First is one that will just prove to be an outstanding support network for individuals while they're continuing their recovery process.
The plan. Housing First is working with community stakeholders to implement a comprehensive plan to develop 1,000 units of permanent supportive housing.
Through Enterprise, we're able to bring technical assistance, early pre-development dollars, low-cost loans, and grants to build the capacity of the initiative and to ensure the success of the projects.
Although Emerald Commons and our projects are new to Cleveland, this is part of a national trend.
New York, Chicago, Columbus, why not in Cleveland?
I can't wait for this project to be complete, and hopefully at the end of the year there will be 72 people who have a place to call home.
The Housing First initiative has sort of broken new ground for the community. One of the challenges moving forward is the critical funding need for the supportive services piece. It's far more important than the bricks and sticks.
Moving forward, the challenges are to make sure that development subsidy, rental assistance, and social service funding is growing proportional to the increased number of units locally.
It is clear, in order to address the problem of homelessness, we all need to invest in a solution. We all need to make sure that wherever we live, that we play a role in abating this human crisis. It's going to be important that other communities, suburban communities, strongly consider having supportive housing.